Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started, and we begin with a look at the forecast tonight. Another cooler day across the inland northwest, but a big warm-up's on the way. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for what we need to know. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, it's going to be another chilly one tonight. Not quite as cold as last night, but a little cooler than the seasonal norms, if you will. 68 degrees is where we sit right now. Think to just 24 hours ago, we were at 64 degrees. That slight difference is about the difference that we continue to hang on to through the night. 68 here in Spokane, 66 in Coeur d'Alene, 50s already in Deer Park and Sandpoint, but watch this. Temps, well, they keep dropping. You're in the 40s, Deer Park, Newport, up into Sandpoint, 48 in Pullman overnight, 53 in Spokane. It is looking like it is another chilly one tomorrow morning. We have a lack of cloud cover, a lack of wind, and a lack of really any major atmospheric disturbance. A little bit of cloud cover slides over, but by tomorrow, it's gone. 86 degrees tomorrow afternoon, 88 Friday, and then by Saturday, we're up at 90 and staying hot through the weekend.
We'll enjoy the next couple of days for sure. Jeremy, thank you very much. We are less than a week out from the Spokane County primary election, and tonight 4 of the 5 candidates for Spokane mayor met to discuss one of our top local issues. KREM 2's Janelle Finch was at the debate tonight and shares how some of the candidates plan to address Spokane's homeless crisis. Janelle?
Tonight, candidates for Spokane mayor talked about what they want to do to close the gap on our homeless crisis. With Election Day next Tuesday, candidates are in their final days to address the public and secure votes. Nonstop Local KHQ brought Spokane mayoral candidates Tim Archer, Lisa Brown, Kelly Stevens, and incumbent Mayor Nadine Woodward to the downtown public library Wednesday night. Candidate Patrick McCann couldn't attend. The debate focused on one topic ahead of next week's primary election: homelessness. Candidates had time for opening and closing statements.
People are shuffled from the street to shelter, emergency rooms, or jail, and then they're back on the street again. What this administration is doing isn't working.
I'm proud of my record of bringing people together to deliver results for the city of Spokane. We've added 500 more beds to the regional shelter system.
What Spokane needs is strong leadership, because we do not have a homeless problem. We have a government problem.
I'd like to change the vocabulary I've been using from housing first to shelter first. Housing is ideal, but in a crisis, shelters win.
And time to answer each question, including what are some of the factors that contributed to our unhoused population.
Lack of planning by the city and local governments is part of the problem.
We have addiction on the street that we see every single day. They cannot be housed. They need to be helped first. And then, of course, mental health.
Number 1, lack of law enforcement. Number 2, addiction. And number 3, mental health.
Mental health and drug addiction, those two, they're so obvious.
The candidates also talked about the closing of the I-90 homeless encampment, Spokane Unite, the regional approach to address homelessness, and how to balance the needs of both housed and unhoused Spokane people. To learn more about the mayoral and city council candidates on the ballot, check out our voters guide on KREM.com. The deadline to register to vote online and by mail passed Monday, but you can still register in person at the Spokane County Elections Office now through Election Day, August 1st. In the studio, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Janelle, thank you very much. And in addition to the mayoral race, there are a few other important races to keep on your radar. Voters will decide on who will be on the ballot for City Council President. Betsy Wilkerson, Kim Pleas, and Andy Rathbun are running for that position to replace former Council President Brian Beggs, who stepped down at the beginning of July to be a judge for Spokane County Superior Court. If you want more information about the candidates or how to fill out your ballot, KREM 2 does have a voter guide. Just text us the word VOTE to 509-448-2000, and we'll send it right to your phone. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. An Idaho District Court judge has rejected Lori Vallow's motion to try to stop a family member from making a statement at her sentencing. Tammy Daybell's aunt, Vicki Hoban, she was trying to make a statement at the sentencing, and that means that Tammy Daybell's aunt can now make a statement during that hearing. Hoban could speak at the sentencing alongside the victim's grandmother and brother. Lori Vallow was convicted back in May of conspiracy to murder Tammy Daybell, the late wife of Vallow's current husband, Chad Daybell. She was also found guilty in the murders of 2 of Vallow's children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. Vallow's sentencing is set for Monday. A new report released by the Bonner County Sheriff's Office tonight shows hundreds of thousands of dollars may have been taken from the local fair by its former director. The report accuses Darcy Smith of misappropriating fair funds. After being tipped off back in June of 2022, a criminal investigation was launched that October led by Sandpoint Police. They interviewed Smith on October 27th, and 4 days later, she took her own life. Investigators found Smith had written several unauthorized checks. Investigators also uncovered an expected deposit was about $5,000 short, and that money was never found. In all, around $40,000 was apparently misappropriated. KREM 2 reached out to the Bonner County Fair, the prosecutor's office, the county auditor, as well as county commissioners. So far, we have not gotten a response. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood says it plans to put up billboards throughout central Idaho. The purpose? To tell patients to go out of state to get a legal abortion. The billboards are part of a new ad campaign to cut through confusion of where or how patients can receive an abortion. Abortion illegal in Idaho now, except in cases of rape when a police report is filed, incest, or to prevent the death of the mother. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. In national news tonight, lawmakers on the national level heard shocking testimony from 3 witnesses, including former military personnel, about close encounters with unidentified flying objects, or as they are now known, unidentified anomalous phenomena. A whistleblower who formerly worked on the Defense Department's UAP task force claims the U.S. is actively concealing a long-standing program that retrieves and reverse engineers UFOs. And here's part of that testimony.
Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to.
Federal lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are demanding more transparency from the U.S. Department of Defense. They say their next steps include re-interviewing the witnesses again in a classified setting in order to learn more. At least 2 firefighters and 2 people were injured after a crane caught fire and collapsed in New York City today. Look at that. The fire broke out on top of a 50-story building in Manhattan that was under construction. Luckily, because it happened early in the morning, there were no major injuries. More than 200 firefighters and EMS workers worked to clear out that area this morning.